Welcome back to World of Immersion. So this past summer we had the amazing experience of visiting Japan, and during this trip we went to some incredible theme parks. Go check out all of our other videos and vlogs from that trip. But one of the best theme parks we visited on this trip was Tokyo DisneySea. Now this was a phenomenal park. You can go and check out our full review up on our channel. It was an incredible park, completely blew our minds how awesome this park was. Totally exceeded expectations. But in today's video we are going to be ranking every single ride at Tokyo DisneySea. But before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss another update here on World of Immersion. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. So there are a total of 9 major attractions over at Tokyo DisneySea, and we're going to be ranking them from worst to best. Starting off in last place, number 9, we have Aquatopia. This is a little flat ride, you could call it, where you are sitting in a boat and you are just spinning around going through the water. It is pretty fun, nothing too crazy to it. The theming is really good. You actually cannot see the track underneath you. It really feels like you're floating on the water. The theming around too on the carts and sort of in the area is very cool too. The only reason it's in last place here is because it is a little bit of a short, kind of bland ride. Not much happens. You sort of just spin around going back and forth. It's almost like Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, but a little bit less intense, a little bit less forceful. But still is a ton of fun, a great addition to the lineup, nothing too special. But taking the number 8 spot, we have Story Mania. Now this is a clone of the one that we have over here in California Adventure. And it is a great ride. It's a fun little shooter ride. It's always a good filler ride, similar to Aquatopia, that you can sort of do if you've done everything else. It's not that incredible, you know, there's not an insane amount of theming, there are a lot of screens, but it still is a ton of fun. The shooting aspect is great, and it is actually relatively fast, I will say. I sort of forgot how intense the ride was. Now with that being said, it's not some sort of intense monstrosity, but it still is a little bit more intense than I remember. Taking the number 7 spot, we have 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Now this ride was really cool. It genuinely feels like you are underwater in the submarine. The cart is very cool. It looks like a submarine. The seats are very tight, they're very small, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but it really actually immerses you, making it feel like it is a real submarine. The theming is super cool. The animatronics are very awesome. I love the lighting, I love the colors of this ride. It's great. It's a very beautiful ride. It's extremely well designed, and the layout is super good. It's very long, and it really feels that way. You get a lot that happens throughout the ride. The animatronics are pretty cool. It's a little bit of an older ride, but that's okay because it doesn't really matter. It still is a ton of fun. Still looks really good, running in good shape. And overall, it's just a really fun addition, again, to the lineup of the amazing rides that they already have. The theming really is what sets this ride apart, though. It is very well themed, and the queue is very cool. You go down this spiral walkway over the lake. It's very awesome while you're in the center of the volcano. Overall, great ride, super good addition. Taking number 6 spot, we have Sinbad's Storybook Voyage. Now this is a boat ride similar to Pirates of the Caribbean or to Small World. However, unlike Small World, this one is a ton of fun. No hate to any Small World fans. The theming is really cool. They have some awesome animatronics and props throughout the entire ride. If you have read the book 1001 Nights, this is based around a character named Sinbad in that. And it's a really well done ride in that it doesn't get boring, it doesn't get repetitive, it goes very slow, so you get a very long layout, a very long ride, just like Small World or Pirates. But unlike Small World, it's not the same thing over and over again. You have these really intricate sets with some pretty cool animatronics, some pretty huge animatronics too. The size of some of these things are really awesome. And actually, this is one that definitely blew us away. We didn't really expect it to be that great knowing what it was. However, we were definitely blown away when we went on this ride. It exceeded our expectations by a lot. It was a ton of fun. Overall, a fantastic ride. And that's why I take the number 6 spot. But coming in number 5, we have Raging Spirits. Now this is the coaster over at Tokyo DisneySea. It has one inversion, and overall it is okay. If we got rid of all of the theming, every single ounce of theming, and just had the roller coaster, it would be a pretty awful roller coaster. Pretty much nothing happens. You go up, you do a few dips, a few turns that really don't give you any forces, and then you have a loop that's kind of fun because you get a little bit of hang time because it goes through the loop slowly. But other than that, the ride itself, the coaster itself, is not that great. It's kind of boring and forceless. However, the theming is absolutely spectacular for this coaster, and that is really what sets it apart. Otherwise, it would definitely be low on our list, but the theming really sets this coaster apart. This coaster has some amazing set design. The structure that the coaster is on looks amazing, and it really feels like you are going along these wooden bridges or wooden pathways. The fog also is a really cool addition to it. When you are going through those turns, you kind of shoot through the fog. It is a ton of fun. And so overall, this is a really good roller coaster because of the theming. It's fun. And the loop is still pretty forceful. However, overall, as just a roller coaster purely, it could be better. But because of the theming, it really sets it apart from other coasters. Now, taking the number 4 spot, we have Soaring Over the World. Now, this is a clone of the other Soarings Over the World, and it is a ton of fun. Like all the other rides, they are very, very fun. They're a great motion simulator, super good technology, really immerses you more so than a lot of other motion simulators out there. And overall, this is just a great ride. You can see our reviews that we've done over for the other Soarings, but this one is basically the exact same, and so it is a ton of fun, and that's why it takes the number 4 spot. Now, taking the number 3 spot, this one may have the same name, but it is pretty different. We have Tower of Terror. Now, this is the same concept as the other Tower of Terror. However, the theming is slightly different, and so is the layout. The theming is very, very cool with this ride. It's different from the Tower of Terror. It's not as much a haunted hotel, but that the character has brought back a haunted artifact that now has haunted everybody in the hotel. It is a ton of fun. The pre-show is really, really cool. We won't spoil it, but it has some awesome effects that we still have no clue how they do. Now, the ride itself is pretty good. We will say that of the 3 tower drop rides we have done, it's definitely our least favorite ride system itself. It's similar to Guardians, except without the bounciness that makes Guardians so fun. You sort of just go up and drop down, but with the one in Orlando, you go forwards a bit, which makes it a little bit better. So overall, this one definitely was weaker in terms of layout, but it still was a ton of fun. The ride is great. You get some awesome zero-G experiences, and like I said, the theming is fantastic. The pre-show is really cool, and overall, just a great ride and a good addition for DisneySea, and that is why it takes the number 3 spot. Now, coming in at number 2, we have Indiana Jones. Now, we have an Indiana Jones over here at Disneyland. However, this ride is very different. It is the exact same track layout. However, the theming is pretty different, and it definitely, in our opinion, is actually better than the one that we have over at Disneyland. It has some awesome set design. Now, for some reason, it felt like the theming was slightly newer. However, this ride was actually opened one day later than the one at Disneyland, but it just felt newer. Something about the theming felt nicer, felt cleaner, more well designed. Now, that could just be us with recency bias, but it still was a super, super fun ride regardless. The theming was great. The Indiana Jones track layout and track system and ride system is really fun and actually a pretty intense experience, which is what makes it great. It's not as much of a family ride. It's actually closer to a thrill ride in our opinion. There are some great elements on it. And overall, it is just a fantastic ride, and great that DisneySea has this because it just adds to the already great lineup that they have. But I think almost everybody that has visited Tokyo DisneySea will agree that the number 1 spot for the best ride at DisneySea goes to Journey to the Center of the Earth. This ride is beyond incredible. It is one of a kind. It is extraordinary. There is nothing quite like this in the world. Journey to the Center of the Earth uses the same ride system as the Cars ride over at California Adventure. However, this ride is completely different from the Cars ride. You start off in this very, very cool themed car. It almost looks like a Jeep that is traveling through the caves on this adventure that you're going. The queue is very cool. You go down into what looks like this deep, dark cave where you are ready to go journey to the center of the earth, like the name. You go through the first section of the ride, which is the slow section, and you see some awesome theming. It is very, very cool. The theming on this ride really is incredible. The animatronics are great. The set design is great. And then you go around and you see probably one of the coolest animatronics you'll ever see on a ride. We're not going to spoil what that is, just in case you're going to ride it. However, after that, you go through the thrill portion of the ride, and it is just so much fun. Something about this aspect being indoors makes it super incredible. The Cars ride is all outdoors, which makes it feel slower than you're going. Now, it still feels fast, but this one is indoors, so it feels very, very fast. And not to mention, this one has a pretty steep drop that actually gives you some good airtime. And so this is not only an incredibly well-themed ride, but also pretty thrilling ride too. And it is also a long ride. And overall, just all of these great factors combined make it the best ride at Tokyo DisneySea in our opinion, and hopefully in most people's opinions too. Let us know down in the comments if you agree with this ranking. Tokyo DisneySea has some awesome rides and is definitely one of the coolest parks we have ever visited in our lives. They're actually expanding, opening a whole new land soon with some cool new additions. So if you're watching this and those rides have already opened, make sure to leave comments down below how they compare to the other rides at Tokyo DisneySea. But thank you so much for watching. That's going to do it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss another update from here on World of Immersion, and we will catch you in the next one.